Hello there. In the previous video, we had a look at the customer side of Braggi Shopping slots that allows a customer to book a slot at their local grocery store or supermarket in order to safely shop while being ensured that social distancing will be followed and will be easier to implement for the shopkeepers as well, using our platform's queue management solution and ticket generation system. In case you haven't watched that video, you can find that linked in the description down below. Today, I'll walk you through the shopkeeper end. So if you're a shopkeeper registered with us, this is the view you will get upon logging in. In case you're not yet registered with us, we have contact information for you to get in touch with us down below in the description, or you can wait until the end of the video to get the information. So as you can see here, we have a lot of features available for you. So the registration process is as follows. We'll send you a Google form link once you get in touch with us, and that Google form link will basically contain some basic information, like what is the slot size that you want to assign to your shop, where is your shop located, the address, the name of the shop as well. Okay, so these three things are the first parameters that you are allowed to customize here. So I'll explain what the slot size is really. So normally, if you're running, a big supermarket which has, enough space for 200 or 300 people at a time, that is well and good. But during the lockdown, we have to follow the social distancing norms. Hence, you'll have to bring down that number to something like 20 or 30. Suppose you feel that you're comfortable managing the crowd properly with a small number like that. So by setting your slot size, you allocate a certain number of slots, like 35 in this case, to all of your customers. So when your customers log in onto our platform to book slots, they can only choose from 35 slots that are available to them, and depending on how many slots have already been reserved, they're left with so many options. So here, let's just modify this first. So I feel that 35 is a lot. After one day of experience, I feel that 35 is a lot. I can't manage 35, so I want to bring that down to 30. So once I bring that value down, I'll just press save. So next option is the open and close toggle switch. So you'll find that the time right now is close to 7 p.m. So I decide that I'm done for the day. I want to close my shop. Okay. So then you'll just press this toggle switch and set it to close. So now all the customers who log in onto our platform and search for your store cannot book slots because your shop has been closed. So this is for indicating whether your shop is open or closed. If you have, if you decide to take a holiday suddenly, within a working week, you can use this option to indicate and notify your customers that your shop has been closed and they cannot book slots there. Okay, all right. So going to the next one. The next one is the address column. Here you can modify your address, where your shop is exactly. You can make it as descriptive as possible. So right now I feel that beside more and opposite to less is not really descriptive enough for me. So I'm going to say, I'm going to mention the area name. I'm going to say Bhavani Nagar, comma, and then Malkajgiri, and that looks good. All right, I'm going to save that. So going to the next option. The next option allows you to add or remove employees. So we understand that if you're a shop owner, you might have workers working for you, and there are other options coming after this that will probably require some level of work delegation so that you can have your operations running smoothly. So as the owner, you're not going to modify everything here. As the owner, you have access to this entire page. As you can see here, you can modify your shop details. Your workers, whom you'll add through this menu here, will not have access to this part, the darker background menu that allows you to change shop details. The other settings that are down below are accessible to your workers. All right, to add and delete workers, it's quite easy. All you have to do is go into this menu, press enter and start entering the email of another worker who's already logged into the platform. So if I want to add this worker that I have, bruce@gmail.com, just add him, and I realize that I want to actually remove Sushrit. So I'm just going to delete this, and then I'm going to press save. So these people immediately have access to the worker accounts. I'll do a separate video on what the workers can do. Alright, so here's how the verification process goes on. So when a customer shows up to your store, this is how the view will be. So right here you can see that this is the card that your customer will be showing you. So here on the top, you'll have the name of your store, in this case, Folsom Foods. And this one over here indicates what is the number of the person in the queue. So there are 30 slots for the 8 p.m. time slot. This person has booked the first slot. So this person is the first in the line, and would be given priority depending on your discretion to enter the store. And then the next thing you have is the date and the time at which the customer is supposed to visit. So this is how you authenticate and permit your customer into your store once they have booked through Braggi Shopping slots. Alright, the next one is a quality of life feature that we've added for further store management and for your review purposes. So you can view here the slot occupancy by hour. So you can see that at 5 a.m. with a capacity of 30, that means your slot size is 30, you have 19 available for booking. That is 11 people have already reserved their slots. So once the 5 a.m. slot has passed, that is at 6 a.m. onwards, you can start viewing this. Okay. Now this is at the point where customers have already visited your shop. People of the 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. slot have already visited your store, and then they have on their tickets they have a queue number. So that number says what was their position in the queue. Okay, that is allocated on a first come first serve basis depending on when you register your slot. So once you have a person at the reception or the entrance of your store, this is again accessible to your workers as well. Once you have someone over there, they can just check off whichever people have actually visited the store. So now I'm going to see that, okay, the first person has visited, the third person, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7th and 9th have visited so far. Okay. Then you do not do this, on an hourly basis. You can do it at the end of the day. Okay. And then again, I see that, for the 8 a.m. slot, 4, 5, 1, 2, 7, 8 have visited. You can just checklist all of this. Okay, so what this allows you to do is later on you can track how many people have actually visited, and depending on that you can decide that daily I'm only getting 20 out of 30 slots reserved, so probably I can actually manage 20 slots itself, and you can modify your slot size accordingly. So that is what we intend to do with this view. Now this is another feature that we've added recently, which allows you to customize your slot timings on an hourly basis. Okay, so now you see that all the slot timings that our store is using right now are checked on. Okay, and then the slots that we're not using, that is the 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. slots are not in use, so they're not checked. So now I think that running the store every day, I feel that I want a break. Lunchtime is very hectic and there's a lot of crowd. So I think that after lunchtime, that is after 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, I'll actually close down my shop. I'll go for a break. I'll have my lunch. My workers will have their lunch and they'll be back. Okay. And then, a couple of days later, you're informed and instructed that you have to close down your shop by 8 p.m. itself. So now you have some extra grace time that you can open your shop for. So you can open the 7 p.m. slot as well, because the 7 p.m. slot goes from 7 to 8 p.m. So you can open the 7 p.m. slot as well. And then a couple of days later, you realize that you don't want to open at 5 a.m. exactly because people don't want to come out. So you can close your shop at that time as well. So these slots are actually available to the customer for booking. And these changes are again applied in real time. Whatever changes you make, those will be reflected on the customer end as well. So this is all for the shopkeeper end. Stay tuned for the next video that covers in detail the worker responsibilities. The responsibilities of a worker are quite simple actually. They do not have access to this area, that is editing the shop details, controlling what timings are, what's the slot size, changing your address or adding or deleting employees. They do not have access to that. The only thing that the workers actually have access to is this area, only this area. In this area, they can only customize, indicate how many people have visited and how many people have not visited. And in this case, you can actually see that, 6 a.m. I actually have not marked anyone present. So, I'll just mark them, and then I realize, oh no, the second person, that was a mistake. He hasn't come. So I'm just going to uncheck that. So this is all the flexibility that you have with this platform. We hope that Braggi's shopping slots solution actually allows you to properly manage your store during times like these and serve your customers properly while adhering to the social distancing norms set by the government. So in case you want to get registered with us, in the chance that you're not yet registered with us, you can go through the registration details down in the description, and I'll have a card playing after this that will have the contact information that you can use to get in touch with us and set up your shop on Braggi Shopping Slots platform. Thank you.